What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again. This is my Boston Bruins franchise mode series here on NHL 17, and in this episode, after a fairly eventful prior episode with the trades that we made, we get back into simming this season. And I said last episode was fairly eventful, but in fairness, this episode could be as well. Of course, we are still in first place in our division, a 3-point lead over the Ottawa Senators. So it was risky to make the moves that we did, but it will be better for our younger players, of course, to be able to get into the lineup, and then, of course, the addition of Trouba on the back end. I feel like on paper we're the better team, but you never know. This team might not gel. We'll have to see what happens. We have 42 games to go, essentially half the season remaining, and we will see just what this team can do. Now, I also, and I'm sure there'll be a pop-up here in a minute, or Jake DeBrusk will get injured. I said I would make some signings to improve Providence. What I did was just offer those guys who are already on the team NHL deals, so that way we can try and clear out the Providence Bruins and actually get our full team in there, rather than having like Matt Bartkowski stick around, because that was a big thing. The only guy actually that we didn't just sign who was already on the Providence Bruins was Paul Bissonnette. We brought him in for the hell of it, but Mueller, Breen, these guys were already on the team, as opposed to what you would see, say, in the Vancouver series, but in the Nord series, well, constantly just the same guys would be on the AHL team throughout the entire sim. So we'll be able to see if we can clear out Providence. That is the goal. So I think that was actually everyone that was signed. If not, we are close to it. But anyway, focusing on the task at hand, Anton Khudobin is in goal against the Carolina Hurricanes. And we're going to have to wait a minute to see if he was able to get the win. We are moving on to scouting the queue. And he got the 3-1 win. Not bad. Beating the best team. I think, weren't they the best team? Yeah, they were the best team in the Eastern Conference at the end of the episode. And we are getting some separation from Ottawa and the rest of the pack. 6 points up. Of course, we're still a long way away from potentially talking playoffs, but things are looking okay. And Ryan Spooner, up to an 85. His plus-minus is terrible, but at least he's improving. That is a bright sign for us. We'll be keeping an eye, too, on certain players. Spooner's one of them. Colin Miller, another major guy that we need to keep an eye on here as we progress. But I want to get to the All-Star break. Hopefully, I wasn't going to do sim periods, but we'll go back to it. Let's sim to February 1st and see if we can maintain our first place lead in the Atlantic Division. February 1st has arrived, and as you can see, the month of January was a bit up and down for us. Trading wins and losses pretty much throughout the entire month. The biggest bit of news is that Zdeno Chara went down to injury. He will be back on February 13th, but he is out for the moment. Nate Prosser is back in the lineup, but as you can see, we have a 6-point lead on Tampa and Montreal. We just dropped points to Tampa, albeit we had Anton Khudobin in goal, so that way we can have Tuukka against the Washington Capitals. But it'll be interesting to see if we lose Nate Prosser on waivers. He's up to an 82, and we'll see. But we picked him up on waivers to begin with, so I'm not too concerned. Tuukka Rask, though, 43 games played so far this year, 11 for Anton Khudobin, and we are going to need Tuukka to be at his best if we are going to make the playoffs this year. At this rate, we've been in first for almost the majority of the season, it feels like. But as you can tell, the race is close. Really, only the Buffalo Sabres are falling back, but even Toronto, 5 points out of a playoff spot, 5 points behind Montreal. It is going to be very close, very, very close. We have 29 games to go, so let's get back to it. Let's sim through the entire month of February. Actually, no, we'll go I don't see us making a move. Let's go to trade deadline day and see if we can somehow be in first place on that day. Unfortunately, guys, time has caught up to us. We are in a three-way tie for second place, but at the moment we currently sit fourth in the Atlantic Division. This month has pretty much been a nightmare. Not that many games, and we've only won 2 of them against the Maple Leafs and a 2-0 shutout win for Anton Khudobin over the Vancouver Canucks. We have 3 players on offense and 1 defender that are just really, really sinking this team. The first one is Ryan Spooner, doing all right point total-wise, but a minus 19. Jesus Christ, and only shooting 5.8%. Riley Nash, 14 points, is a minus 16. And Matt Bolesky, 10 points, a minus 17. We've had them on the same line. At this point, we've had to split them up and have all of them on different lines. They have just been terrible. And then defensively, Colin Miller, 2 points, and is a minus 21. Somehow, Joe Morrow is a positive player. Everybody else is playing well. But we have those glaring issues. And as much as I'd like to keep Colin Miller, his potential just isn't that great. I mean, his best locker room chemistry is with Joe Morrow. He has been brutal. Absolutely brutal. And it's at the point where we may just have to send him out. I mean, we have Nate Prosser, who we could fill in there for the moment. Or, of course, we could look to make a trade. But for Spooner, for Nash, for Bolesky, I'm not sure who we could get rid of to replace them with. If we still had the likes of Dominic Moore and Jimmy Hayes, and maybe we could just plug them into the lineup. We went with these guys over them, and they are letting us down tremendously. The only guy who's really ready to step into the lineup, I mean, not even Danton Heinen. Brian Ferlin and Bleed are listed as fourth-line guys because of their physical category. We are in a pretty rough situation. And because of that, I'm going to call this episode right here because I need to take an honest look around the league and see if there are any trades that make sense for us right now, or if we should just keep it on the way we are right now and hope for the best. But again, we have 22 games to go, 67 points with the extra losses. Jesus, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. We have 2 more losses than Montreal. Ottawa has a game at hand. That is what I'm trying to say. Throughout the entire league, LA and Chicago are up there, as you would expect. And in the basement, you have the New Jersey Devils, surprisingly. Edmonton, still down there, despite Connor McDavid. The sim is just weird. It's like it's destined for the Edmonton Oilers to somehow get Nolan Patrick. But I wanted to take a look as well at player stats around the league. Not necessarily to scout anybody out as you get a look at our point totals. Bergeron with 47 points, 40 for Marchand, Pasternak with 39, so not too bad there. Tim Schaller has more points than Matt Bolesky. That is a sad sight. No disrespect to Tim Schaller, of course, but looking, Alex Ovechkin has 75 points in 59 games. Holy shit, already hit 41 goals. Backstrom is second in points. Go figure. Malkin up there, Giroux. No surprise names. Patrick Laine, though, is up there, but with 46 helpers as opposed to just 16 goals, despite being a sniper. But he's doing some work for the Winnipeg Jets. Bobby Ryan is up there, not necessarily surprising. Daniel Sedin up there. Jesus. Just trade for the Sedins. Fuck it. We'll get Ryan Spooner out of here, and we'll trade for the Sedins. I'm joking. I don't think we could afford it, and if they didn't retire at the end of the year, we would be in a lot of trouble. But rookie of the year right now, it's looking like Laine, although Marner and Nylander, in fairness, are both doing pretty damn well. Austin Matthews with 27 points. So not a bad bit of business for the Leafs in terms of their rookies. Rookie goalies are not a factor. So right now Patrick Laine is the favorite for the Calder. And I will stop stalling. Like I said, I'm going to have to cut this episode short because I want to take a look top to bottom throughout the league to see who we can potentially pick up. But it seems like it has to happen. It has to happen. This fourth line right here, Spooner, Nash, Bolesky, it has to be broken up. We had them in this order on the third line and the fourth line. They're just not getting it done. Spooner, we'd obviously be free to trade. Nash, we're free to trade. I mean, he just signed with the Bruins, but whatever. Matt Bolesky in real life, I mean, he has a limited no-trade clause, so he'd have to be like, oh, here's the 8 teams. We'll just trade him if we find the right fit. Same with Colin Miller. This team needs a bit more work, and we will see what we can do. But who knows? Maybe we won't find any trading partners, and we won't be able to get anything done. We're not going to know. We're not going to know until the next episode. So until then, guys, I hope you did enjoy this one. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button to help support my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. If you missed it yesterday, go check out the first episode of Bork's Battalion, my new Ultimate Team series here on NHL 17. And I should note as well, the good news, bad news video on my channel. I shouldn't have been that, I should have been more obvious with it. There are polls on that video to help you guys pick the series that will run alongside this one. Basically saying, I'm going to have 2 franchise modes going at the same time. There's a poll right now. You can go vote if you haven't already to help decide what that other series will be. So check out those 2 videos, guys, and I will see you in the next one.